Okay. We are going to record so that we can post.
Thank
And
you.
let me see if I pin. That's good. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
How have you been?
Yeah, I am here.
Sometimes that's all we can say, right?
Yes.
We're
Yeah,
here.
I am here. I am upright. I am breathing, trying to remember to breathe.
Mm,
Yeah,
breathing is important.
yeah.
And one of the things I always say is don't forget to look up.
Oh, also that. That's also my video game advice too. Because
Yeah,
people don't look up in games. I'm like, you never know. You might need to look up.
right. Right. There might be a drop happening right over your head that you're ignoring.
Exactly. Or a spider that's about to murder you. Yeah.
Right.
In a video game, that is, not in real life. I wouldn't
No.
murder a spider in real life.
Although the
Heidi would never
spiders here are
forgive
pretty
me.
scary sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
As usual, I like looking at the bottom of the deck.
I love it.
Here we have the Nine of Swords, so the nightmare card, right? I feel like you're
Yeah.
trapped in a world of nightmares.
Is that for right now? Yeah.
You know, this is like
Um,
the shadow energy that we're all dealing with right now, I think. Yeah,
yeah.
we're all a little like,
Yeah. Well, and also like my dream job has turned into a bit of a nightmare.
oh,
So yeah. So now I'm
funny
like,
how often that happens.
yeah. And it's because I know we did this last time too around like betting on myself.
Hmm.
And now the universe is like, girl, you didn't listen. Like you need to really do that because I mean, we're turning 49, all of us, or 50,
Right.
depending on where our birthdays are. And
I
it's
just
like,
turned 49 in September, so yeah.
happy birthday. I turned 49 in March. And so, it's like we're leading up to a
Hmm.
monumental year. And it's like, all right, I don't know. That's why I was like, I just want to see what else is going on because I really want to bet on myself and do the business that I was telling you about last time, but then it's
Right.
also pivoted and shifted to be more of like, we can talk about that later, but more of like a newsletter, but still being my own boss and doing my own thing
Hmm.
because time and time again, it's like I'm doing all this stuff to help other people and other companies
So
be
have you
successful.
not, have you been rejecting the offerings of spirit?
I think I've been too
It's
like,
almost like, okay, my cup's already full. I don't want no more right now.
yeah, I've felt too busy. And then especially with my mom going into hospice and then
Right.
passing away, it
Hmm.
was like, okay, but then now's not a good time to look for a job. I still have a job. I don't know how much longer I will have one though. And so I'm
Right.
coming to this point of like, okay, like if this job goes away tomorrow, what do I
What
want to?
next? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Well,
what is that?
cups is also about emotion, right? So in
Mhm.
some ways, you're just like, I do not want to deal with that cup of emotion. Shove off. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know
I think
you.
for me too, I think that like the disappointment, not
Hmm.
just like of the
Oh,
job, but the emotional disappointment in people because I've
like how
had,
could the entire freaking country vote for this guy?
well,
Like,
also that. Yeah, and then even at work too, because like I had people that I thought were my friends that have decided to not continue to be my friend because they think I'm probably going to get laid off. And so they don't want to be associated with that because they want to save their own jobs.
that's bullshit. Yeah.
Right. So, like, that's been really emotional for me. So, do you think it could be that?
Yeah, because you start here with the Three of Pentacles, everyone working hard together, right?
Hmm.
Which leads to the Four of Pentacles, the boss kind of like hoarding all the riches that you guys just harvested, right?
Yep.
No, now we have the King of Cups, right? So it's almost like the boss has been emotionally manipulative.
1,000%.
No,
1,000%. I,
and like, look at
yeah,
this. He's like, look at this, what I'm offering you. And of course, he's spilling it right back into his own coffers.
yes.
Mhm.
This is, oh my God. Yes. 1,000%. I helped him so much in the
Yeah,
beginning.
Spirit's telling you it is time for you to pull out that wand and start creating your own thing.
Yep. Yeah. And not
It's
even
time to
trying
be
to,
the magician. It's time
right.
to take your ideas and make them reality.
Hmm. Yet again, for the
And
second
again,
week in a
you've
row.
been being told that every time.
Yeah. Like, how many times do I have to tell this?
Right. Well, the next is Ten of Cups with Justice, right? So we go from the magician to like, instead of feeling this,
Which is what?
the
The
Four of Cups
emotional.
is that whole like, oh God, I just don't want to deal with you right now. Like, don't
Mhm.
offer me this emotion, this bullshit emotion, right? Stop trying to pretend like you're offering me something when in reality you're just like taking it all
Hating.
away.
Hmm.
And then it's time for you to start your own thing so that you can then start filling your own cups. Right? And then justice is served because instead of having to work for someone and fill their cups and their
Hmm.
coffers,
Hmm.
you're focusing on your family. You're focusing on building for you,
Yeah.
building a legacy for your child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helping others too.
And finding that
Yeah.
balance, the
Yeah.
justice, right? There it is,
Yeah.
helping others,
Yeah.
finding that balance with others, right? And
Hmm.
then, you know, another king. We got the king of fire here to go with the king of water. Right?
Interesting.
We
What
got
does
the
that
king of
mean?
wands with the nine of pentacles, right? So
Hmm.
this is telling you that, okay, so this king has been like baiting and switching. Instead of finding a boss, find a business partner that has the same passions
Hmm.
that'll help you create this lush garden for yourself, right? Nine of Pentacles is all about being self-sustainable, not having to rely on anybody.
Hmm.
So with the Ten of Cups and Justice followed by King of Wands and Nine of Pentacles, it's, focusing on that emotional happiness, focusing on the doing those things that'll help bring emotional happiness and balance to your life.
Hmm.
And, maybe you do need to find a business partner just to help with maybe the business side of things if you want to focus more on running the thing, right?
Hmm.
If you
Hmm.
want someone to deal with like all the day-to-day stuff while you deal with really creating what you want to create, then that's that King of Wands who has that same passion, has the same fire.
Hmm.
There's a lot of fiery energy coming out in these cards.
What
Um,
does that mean?
and then, well, I mean, look, I think the roses are that same kind of like bright red. So
Hmm.
it's really about following your passion, not
Yeah.
letting the water drench your passion and like put out your flames. Um,
Hmm.
let me let's peel back another layer with the oracle if that goes, because they often give us a little more insight into which each position is really stating, right?
Okay.
But I see this Knight of Wands showing up as someone that, fire energy, someone who's like a Leo, maybe just there to help stoke the flames instead of like offering emotional support. it's not really there as it's dripping back into their own cup, right? Whereas in this one, like, yeah, here the king is feeding a bluebird of happiness, right? But
My
too
favorite.
much
I
of the
love
water is dripping
it.
right back into his pile,
Hmm.
basically. Whereas
Hmm.
here, I feel like the king is like hugging the dragon, and the dragon is warming the king, warming all of you. So, you know,
Does it have to be another person?
it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be another person. It could just be that you need to become the king of wands. You need to become the king of your passions.
Got
They
it.
can't, so the queens are the nourishers, right? They nourish.
Hmm.
And the kings, they're more of like the let's set up the system. Let's like figure out what's going to work and
Yeah.
implement it.
And
Right?
do the thing. Yeah.
Do the thing. So this is more about the fact that once you start building the things that you're passionate about, right?
Hmm.
You'll find that like material stability you've been looking for. Because this woman is self-sufficient. She don't need nobody. She's got like an amazing garden.
Yeah.
Right?
She's her
And that's
own
what the
person.
Nine of Pentacles really is, just about like being self-sufficient, not relying on anybody because you know the one who's got your back the best is yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Four of Cups, honesty, right? Are you being honest with yourself about your emotions, right? Or is there some emotions you're like, I don't want to deal with you right now,
Mhm.
right? So I'm not going to be honest with myself about what I'm really feeling, because being honest means I have to actually accept that cup that I like,
Yeah. I think I'm in that mode right now.
yeah,
Like once I realized my friends at work aren't my friends, it's just working through those
right,
feelings
right.
of like, huh, okay, you can't
Mhm.
really depend on other people or have like you can be friendly and nice to people, but you don't need to be so overly friendly so that when
Right. It's one thing to work together, right?
right.
And it's fine, everyone's doing their job, but leave it at work, right?
Yep.
And what is that, right?
Yeah.
It's the gift, right? All that harvesting,
Hmm.
it's a gift in a way. I mean, it's also a gift of knowing who your true friends are.
Yeah.
And the Four of Pentacles, huh, interesting. You get the lovers here. So that Four of Pentacles, I feel like it's the person is more in love with what the people can get him versus the people themselves, right? That that false king with his brass crown.
Hmm.
He's acting like, I love you guys. You guys are so amazing, but
Yeah.
only if
But
you're
it's
filling the coffers.
that's exactly who this person is.
Mhm.
Like love bombs you until, as a boss until like you're no longer useful and then it becomes, you know,
And it's stinginess suddenly.
yeah, very nitpicky and surface feedback.
All
Yeah.
right. And then on the King of Cups here, he brings everyone a lot of depression.
Hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And
But
then
on
the
the
magician
surface, it's
here,
all like, on the surface, it's all happy and everyone's lovey-dovey. But I think, yeah, bringing people,
the magician is talking about you creating what you want, but I think in this case, the magician is also a reminder that he's full of deceit,
hmm, though,
right?
all the more reason to create what you
All the
want.
more reason to cut ties, move on.
Yeah.
Because, right, once you move on, we get the Ten of Cups here, the crone, right, which is like listening to the inner wisdom.
Hmm.
So you
which
find
is what
that
the
happiness,
business is based on. So it makes even more sense.
right? And then justice, what's on justice? Spirit heals,
Ah, wow.
right? So
Yeah,
once you are doing what is right for you, what is your truth, what does your justice look like, spirit can help you,
yeah.
right?
That makes, I mean, of course. The Santa Cruz kid in me is like, duh.
And then what does that King of Wands really represent? But hope, right?
Mhm,
That finding that inner fire helps bring that inner light out again, right? The inner hope, the that hope you may have even had squashed
mhm,
because of what you're going through right now.
mhm.
And then the Nine of Pentacles, intuition,
Hmm,
right? So you have to listen to your intuition in order to actually reach this level of success, um, self-reliance, like not needing anybody else because you know what to listen to, right? You listen instead of seeing with your outer eyes, you see with your third eye. You listen to the knowledge that's pouring in from the heavens,
mhm.
your intuition.
Right.
Your
It's like
intuition
I
knows.
already know what I need to do.
You
Yeah.
already know. It's that's
Mhm,
I mean, the thing is, here we have the moon, right? I feel like the moon often colors things in a way where we don't really necessarily see what's really happening, right?
mhm,
And only, oh, look at this, we got a message here. And only by embracing our vulnerability, right?
mhm.
Only by
Yeah.
embracing our vulnerability do we realize that we were inside that moon the whole time,
Mhm, mhm.
right?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because both of our readings together, it's like the same message again. And
Right.
so, like, am I surprised? No.
Yeah.
Did I think this was going to happen? Yes. But does it just further solidify what I already knew? Yes, but in a good way because it's like, okay, because it's hard because I'm the main breadwinner. My husband took time off to raise our child who's now 9.
Right.
So it doesn't need to be, the full-time intensity of parenting that it was, as you know.
Right.
But it's
My kid's
still,
almost 11, so
yeah, exactly. So it's just different. So, like, technically he could also get a job, but I want, I would love for him to actually work with me in
hmm
the business and like we build it together.
right.
Um,
Well, he could be
so
that king of
the
wands
king,
you need.
yeah, yeah, not a Leo though, but that's okay. He's a Cancer. Um, but yeah, I think this is very affirming for me, even though I
Cancer,
already knew.
which means in a real sky, you'd be a Gemini.
Hmm,
Interesting.
very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
I found
household
out
is,
recently that, according to real sky astrology, I'm not really a Virgo, I'm a Leo. Like, what?
how do you feel about that? Yeah, that,
Oh, I ran away from all Western astrology for like several years and just like dove headfirst into Chinese astrology.
yeah, I would too. I'd be like,
I'm like, what do you mean everything I learned about astrology is wrong? I've been studying it for 30 years. Oh God.
yeah, seriously.
Right.
Well, and also like I'll read the Good Times astrology every Friday, any day of the week. Like I don't care if it's wrong. It's just that's like my comfort right there. I know Risa
Right.
doesn't do it anymore, but still, you know. Well, thank
So
you.
let's look at this again,
Yeah.
from the point of view of starting, right?
Hmm.
Something. You have to be honest with the things that don't work for you,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
If something is not emotionally fulfilling, if something like is just draining, you need to
This
be
job.
honest
It's
about
this
it.
job.
Open that book of honesty and
Yeah.
just let it fly.
Yep. It's
Like,
the job I currently have. Yep.
mhm, right. And you need to find the people that will help you and feel like a gift instead of
Hmm.
feeling like your gift is just being taken advantage of.
Yeah,
Right?
that makes
You
sense.
can't let these people who only think about themselves make you feel like, look at this. It's like total psychic vampirism going on.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
maybe some of these people you need to just cut ties with them, especially
Hmm.
these people that are supposedly your friends, but
Hmm.
then are not,
Yeah, they are not. No.
right? And don't let someone else be able to drive you to depression,
Yeah, that's a good
because
reminder.
it's also a good reminder that if he's trying to feed you depression, he's
Hmm.
got a lot more where that's coming from.
Hmm. Yeah, or even would self-doubt fall into that category too?
Oh yeah.
Because he's been super nitpicky.
It's that imposter syndrome, right?
Hmm. Well, he's just been super nitpicky over things that I have no control over. Like, I have two direct reports that didn't like each other. And
Right.
then I went away on bereavement leave, and they found a way to get along and work really well together while I was gone. And he's like, but I would expect that to come from you. That's your responsibility. And I'm like,
Uh,
okay, that feels really nitpicky. You can't make two people like each other who don't. You can't make two kids play with each other who don't want to. Like,
there's that deceit, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
It's not a
tricking.
real criticism of my actual work, right?
Right.
It's that kind of level of bullshit that he's dishing.
Right. Because the magician is also known as like the great con artist in a lot of ways,
Hmm.
especially with
Hmm.
this deceit card coming on top of it.
Hmm.
It's a reminder that not all the promises people make are real.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's just they're coming up with an idea, and then when you go to actually try and create the thing, it's like you realize that they were not really being that truthful about how easy it was going to be. And they're
Mhm.
acting like, oh, you could just wave a magic wand and everything will be great.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Or,
in
yeah,
reality, it's just something that may never work because
right.
it was never real in the first place.
That's so interesting you say that. Yeah. Well, part of it is, the company I work for, it's a gaming company, obviously, and I've been there a year and 8 months, and we still don't have a game out. And it's really hard to do my job without a product.
Well,
And everyone's
that's
still drinking
crazy.
drinking the Kool-Aid to be like, it's great. Like, we're giving out raises and promotions. And I'm like, we have a parent company that's very wealthy, but I was told we had a 3-year runway and we're coming up on year 4.
Right.
So that also doesn't really feel right. And then he's been just extra nitpicky. Like, they're trying to get me to quit or lay me off because I think they're going to get rid of a lot of the North American people because we're
There's
more
a lot of
expensive.
deceit, a lot of
Yeah.
deceit coming through in these
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
And I always like to think of this top corner as being like the most important energy for you,
Mm-hmm.
thing you're really looking for. And what do we see? We see the Ten of Cups, which is all about like like pure happiness, finding like
Mm-hmm.
everything right in the world. And you have the
Yeah.
Crone, right? So it's like you want to have the happy family that you get to grow old with.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing right now. And I'm
Yeah.
feeling with all this deceit and everything that you're not necessarily getting this right now,
Right. No.
right? And you're being called, spirit saying, I can help heal you, but you got to find that balance back. You got to find your justice.
Mm-hmm.
Can't let this guy keep like tipping the scales on you.
Yeah. I just need to write it out till they lay me off and then just do what I want to do for myself for like full time because I have enough savings, so I'm not going to be like desperately looking for
Right, right.
the next job. I mean, I need a job, but it'd be nice to have some time to really dedicate.
And here with hope and the King of Wands, it's like you need to find someone that's going to bring you hope and passion again if you're going to
Yeah.
work for somebody else.
Yeah.
Or, get your husband to bring that his passion and hope
Mhm.
to the business.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Because
working on it.
I feel like if he brings a lot of more passion and hope, then you'll end up. I mean, this is a pretty impressive ending here with the Nine of Pentacles and intuition. So
Hmm.
it's like listening to your intuition brings you to a state of self-reliance. Like you don't need someone else's job because you're providing for yourself, you're providing for your family, and you don't have to worry about anyone else because you're listening to that
Oh,
voice
yeah.
instead of going, oh, well, this is what society wants me to do.
Right.
Oh, well, what does my inner voice tell me what to do? Because the only way to get here is
Mm.
through here,
Yeah.
right?
That makes sense.
So, do you have any questions about anything here?
No, it all makes sense. It's just, again, like letting go of what I thought like my current
Mhm.
job and situation and career is going to be. And yet again, the universe being like, nope, we're not going to do this. This is not it.
Right.
This is, and I know what I want to do. I know what I need to do. I've already
Hmm.
started doing it. I just need to launch it into
You
the
need to
world.
launch it, right? Well,
Yeah.
okay, if you we can also break this down with this line being your conscious thoughts.
Hmm.
This is your super conscious up here.
Hmm.
And this is your unconscious down here,
Hmm.
right? So
Interesting.
consciously, you're seeing that like like the gift of money takes work, right?
Yeah.
Honesty is not always like your cup of tea, especially in certain jobs, right?
Mhm. Just having that comes
Because
to this
honesty
moment.
brings that like
Yeah.
depression and the
Right.
like
Like this isn't going to
emotional
be
turmoil,
right. This isn't my forever job, or I need to get out of here. Yeah.
right?
It's not what I anticipated.
So subconsciously you're like, well, I want to listen to my intuition to help bring me to where I want to go,
Hmm.
but am I deceiving myself as to what I can build?
Yeah.
Or, maybe it's time to just say, okay, I'm going to start listening. I'm going to let spirit hold me anytime I feel doubt, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then just let justice take care of things. Right? If you're working in a from a place of balance, then justice is going to be balanced, right? If you have a boss that's unbalanced, that's usually when you have those guys who are like, you tell me one thing, but you treat me completely opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
That's an unbalanced scale, is what I think. And then in the upper realm, this is what your spirits want you to know, right? That they have your best interests in heart.
Hmm.
That, yeah, sometimes you already have everything you need, and
Yep.
you just need to take that leap of faith,
Yeah. I was just gonna say those
follow your
exact
passion.
words. Yeah. 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 For sure.
Mhm. And with this being the shadow energy, the Nine of Swords and the Moon together,
Mm.
there's a lot of these what ifs going in your brain, right? Like, well, what if this fails? Or what if nobody wants that? Or what if,
Mhm.
what if?
Yeah.
You don't know because this is just an illusion. Like those what ifs are illusions. They're not the
Mm.
reality. You don't know what the
Yep.
reality is going to be until you actually step
Do it.
forward and start doing,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I just noticed this. We have the Three of Swords, right? Finally
Hmm.
emerging from that lake of tears, finally being able to be vulnerable. And
Yeah.
by doing that and not letting these illusions blind you anymore, because the
Hmm.
illusions are what bring a lot of grief, right?
Yeah.
Doubt kills more success than failure ever will.
That's a great quote. Yeah,
Right.
it's true. And I think the illusion of, the company I work for, the job, the boss, the friends, like all of that, I don't need.
You don't need them.
Yeah.
I mean, you feel like working with others is a gift in a big way,
Yep.
but it's just with everything else here, it's like
What's
I don't
holding
think
you
anybody
back?
you're working for really knows what's going on because this guy is just so freaking deceitful, right?
Yep.
He was able to make each person think that they're getting something completely different.
Yep.
He's the con artist,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
The deceitful
Yeah.
con artist. So
Yeah.
don't let the con get the
Yeah,
better.
I'm done. I am done, I think, pretty much. Well, and then I know we're at time, so I will talk fast, but or overtime. Um, but it's almost like the universe is like, okay, dude, just do the thing. Because
Right?
like I don't even,
Been
it's not
told to
even
do
like,
it.
yeah,
Why aren't you doing it yet?
right. Like I literally have everything. I have business bank account, LLC, like everything's done. I did it long time ago. So I just
It's
have
just
to,
finally taking those steps.
yeah, yeah.
Cutting
And
ties of
hoping,
things that no longer serve.
yeah,
Cutting
yeah.
cut those
Willing to do.
ties, especially the things with the like, I mean, come on, that emotional crap is just bringing nothing but depression.
Yeah,
I mean, how is that helpful for anybody in the
it's not.
long run, right? And
Yeah,
part of it too is you need to be honest with yourself about what is it you're getting out of the job. Is it just
yeah,
for the paycheck?
yep. Right now, yep,
Right now, it's just for the paycheck. Then,
yep, yeah,
know that that's the only thing that you're getting out of it,
yeah, exactly.
right?
That's a
And
great
then
perspective. Yeah,
because the work that you want to do is something that fulfills you, that really like fires
yeah,
up your passions,
yeah, it's true.
that
I
brings
get
hope
really excited
instead
about
of
it. Yeah,
despair and
yeah,
depression. I mean,
yeah. It's pretty
such,
clear.
yeah, such a
Yeah,
strong message here. So I hope you take it to heart.
I definitely am. Thank you. And if you, I was gonna say too, like I was thinking about this months ago, like it would be cool if we could collaborate sometime because I would love to be able to like um, offer your services to the community that I'll be building to be like,
Hmm.
a career related tarot reading. I think a lot of
Oh yeah.
people would be super into that. If you would be interested
Oh,
in something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, I'm always open to that kind of collaboration. Um,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I'll I'll be, making my investment back as far
Oh,
as
of course.
time and
Yeah,
work.
no.
But
Yeah.
I mean, uh, it sounds better than what I'm doing on the 16th, which is I'm doing readings at Art Mix again, which is amazing, but like it's so shallow and I'm only allowed to give like 5-minute readings.
Oh, yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
showed up last year with a sign saying 10-minute readings, and the woman was like, hang on,